Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm getting some comments on the energy piece of the healing process, so I wanted to dedicate this video to energy. And what we mean by energy is that we are all created from a divine spark of love, right, which is energy. And we all vibrate at energetic frequencies. We're all electromagnetic. We're all interconnected, whether we know it or not, or believe it or not. It's a scientific fact, right? So when we recognize and are aware that we're electromagnetic, we can choose, right, what we think. I mean, we can do it whether we know or not whether we're electromagnetic, but the point is, when we're aware of this and we choose what we think, we create the emotions that we want to experience, and then in essence we end up creating the life that we want to live at a higher level or higher perspective. But what that means on like a day-to-day basis, right, in living life, is there's certain emotions that are higher frequency, right, which would be love, joy, peace, happiness, right? Those are all very high vibrational emotions, and they put us in a physical state of a higher vibration. Okay. Going along with that is we attract what we are, right? So when, as an example, if we're living from a loving heart space and we see others without judgment and we see them with love, we are going to vibrate. Our heart is going to expand, and we're going to vibrate from a loving heart space. And when we do that, we attract what we are. So we attract love back towards us, right? And living in those spaces, when you vibrate at those frequencies, even joy and happiness, you'll have more things to be happy about when you live in a happy place. And we're not saying you're happy every minute of every day, but when you choose what you think and you create your emotions, and you live in that frequency, you'll have more things to be happy about. More love comes to you, right? More joy in the present moment, right? All these things, more peace, right? You can be peaceful, knowing that we are divine. We were created from a divine spark of love. We're energetic. We're choosing our thoughts, and our thoughts are positive, and they're ones of loving kindness, right? Coming from the heart space, coming from non-judgment of ourselves and others, right? And thinking, being peaceful, meditating, being centered and grounded in peace, so that when you go out into the world, you're in a peaceful state. When you start, as an example, when you start your day in peace, life just kind of flows, right? Now, if on the contrast, because we always have to have contrast to even know the difference between the two, right? A contrast is if we start the day, as an example, having angry thoughts or negative thoughts, and we're in a place, in a lower vibrational emotion. I use anger because it's common, or it could frustration, whatever it is, right? Guilt, shame, fear, whatever it is. We will go out into the world vibrating that, and then we'll bring more experiences to us that match that vibration. So if you're fearful, you'll go out in fear, and you'll look for experiences of fear and see fear, and then you'll experience, we get what we see too, right? If we're vibrating, if we're in a place of fear, we're going to look out into the world and see things to be fearful of, right? And the same exact thing is true for love. If we are coming from a loving heart space and we give love to every living being, right? The animals, the trees, the earth, individuals, people, we don't judge, right? We're just in a peaceful place and we give out love. We'll see love everywhere, and we'll see love in things that, if you're at a lower vibration and you're not 100%, evolving or evolved, you might not see these things. But this is the benefit of taking the journey and going forward on your healing journey, is you'll start seeing these things. And when you see them and notice them and recognize them, that there's something bigger than us as individuals that created us, that created this magnificent universe where we're all connected, right? We start vibrating higher, then synchronicities start happening too. When we vibrate out, we attract, but you also see a lot of divine frequencies, synchronicities that happen when you're at these higher emotional states and you're at a higher vibration. As an example, I've been doing this work for 25 plus years, and I have so many examples over the years of divine synchronicities. Like, how do you explain these things, right? The only way it could be explained is because it's a divine wink, if you will. They say God winks, or whatever you believe, higher purpose, higher power, angels, whatever you believe, divine, whatever it is you believe, you'll see like synchronicity. So I'll give you an example. And it doesn't have to be your belief, but I believe in angels as a result of many life situations, circumstances that I've experienced, right? Wasn't right away, through a lot of pain, a lot of transmuting a lot of pain, and doing a lot of deep inner work. I see them. I communicate with angels. I believe in them 100%. And I have proof. And here's one of the examples of proof. That's one of my favorite examples. And you might not believe it, because I almost didn't believe it myself, right? And they connect with us in different ways, right? But when you believe in them, you can talk to them, right? You can bring forth any of your troubles and your challenges, and you ask for guidance and direction and peace and love. There's so many different levels. I have a ritual that I do every day that really helps me in all my life experiences. But let me get to this specific example. So I've been doing this for a while. I pray for my family and friends that are close to me. They can tell you, when I'm out every day, if I see things, I'm like, oh, thank you, angels. Or I'll pray to the angels to help me with certain things, and they help me. Go, thank you, angels. All the time, all day. Some of it's verbal, out loud, and some of it's just my own inner dialogue that others aren't even aware of, right? But this example, because I always talk about the angels and pray to the angels, I've had people that don't believe, right? And they'll kind of, poo-poo me off or laugh or whatever. And some of them are friends, like, oh yeah, the angel, that type of thing. But this example is just 100% proof, okay? I was working a part-time job, and I happened to be out in the shopping center. I was in a store. I came walking out of the store, just, minding my own business, and I happened to stop, and I looked directly down on the ground, and I saw, let's see if I can get this off here. I saw this ring right here. See if you can see it. It was sitting exactly like that on the ground, right? So it was upside down. And I just looked at it and I go, what is that? And I saw on the interior, I don't know if you can see it, there's a shooting star inside. It's a shooting star inside. And then I look at it, and let's see if you could see it here. That is an Archangel Raphael sterling silver ring with the shooting star inside. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my God. I couldn't even believe it. I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my God. Like, how much more proof? Here's physical, tangible proof that they exist, and that when you talk to them, they hear you and they answer, right? So it's not the end of the story. What I ended up doing was, and of course, it fits, it just started fitting on this finger, but it fits on like my ring finger perfectly. It's a small size too. It's like either, I think it's a 5.5 or a 6. It's very tiny. So it didn't fit on any of my other fingers, but it fits perfectly on my ring finger. So what I did was I was like by myself, and I'm like, oh my God, I started laughing. I was so happy. I was like, this is unbelievable. So I prayed to the angels. I said, all right, angels, I am going to call the store manager of the store that I was in and explain to him that I found a ring out in the parking lot, and that if anyone came in and was looking for this ring, I left him my name and my phone number and told him to tell them to call me, and I'll come back to the store and I'll return it to them, and then I'll find out where they got it from, and then I'll go get one for myself. And then I said to the angels, I'm like, and if nobody calls me and nobody, reports it lost or missing or whatever, then I'll know that it's meant for me, that you want me to have it. So sure enough, nobody called, nobody reported it missing. So I was just beyond ecstatic, right? And I just think that's like the greatest thing ever, that I could find an Archangel Raphael ring that perfectly fits me. And I did bump into a psychic in a store, and she was talking to somebody else, and I knew the person she was talking to, and she looked at me and she said, with my ring, she goes, that was meant for you. And I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. But a little history too, which is beautiful and divine. Like if you ever get like any past life readings or things like that, I did once. It was years ago, and they said, I have history. My soul has a history in Lemuria. Am I saying that right? Ancient, but I was a healer then, right? And that, I've worked with Archangel Raphael, and Raphael is the Archangel of healing. So it's just like, the craziest thing. So anyway, I'm here. I'm here and available. I want to give back and serve others on their healing journey, because we all have trials and tribulations in life. It's part of our growth and our evolution and our life path, right? So I know mine was a healer, and I intuitively know a lot of things to heal, that can heal. And I've thought these things, and then they weren't mainstream, and then all of a sudden I'll hear or see what I thought as, now becoming, kind of a bigger thing. So I do have an intuitive spark inside me where I know things. Like we all have that inner compass, our own intuitive abilities, and mine has evolved as a result of my experiences in life. So I wouldn't say, I'm a psychic or anything, but I usually have an intuitive knowing about situations and circumstances, whether people tell me or not. They don't have to tell me. I already know. I mean, it's happened to me many times in my life, and I knew things I shouldn't know, and then my problem was, not that it was a problem, a challenge was that, what do I do with it? Like if I know something that I'm not supposed to know, what do I do with that knowing? So it's all an evolution, and it's all divinely guided, right? It's all divinely guided. So, okay, that's just a little bit about energy and energetic expression, how our thoughts create our emotions, and our emotions have vibrational frequencies, and we can elevate our vibrational frequency. and a rising tide, lifts all ships, right? So I'm here, I'm available. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one and you feel like you need some guidance on your healing journey, I'm available. I'll leave my contact information below, okay? And I wish you peace and love on your healing journey. Bye. Have a nice day.